Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I screwed up half the video. Come inside, come inside. Hey, here's a weird video coming at ya. A number of months ago, I came across this coloring page from an old Thundar the Barbarian book, I think on Twitter. Are you familiar with Thundar? One of the greatest cartoon shows ever created? Here's some snippets.
2,000 years later, Earth is reborn. A strange new world rises from the old. A world of savagery, super science, and sorcery.
Super science.
One man bursts his bonds to fight for justice.
I love this guy. He sees Thundar break his chains with his bare hands and he's like, holy
He pits his strength, his courage, and his fabulous sun's sword against the forces of evil. He is Thundar, the Barbarian.
Amazing. There you go, one of the greatest shows ever made, and it only had one season. And god I should have bought those action figures back in the day. So I started trying to make a simple video with it a while back and use it as an excuse to practice drawing. There were two separate attempts, first with a random beast inspired by Phil Tippett more than anything else, being held at bay by Princess Ariel.
Demon Dog!
It still needs work. I lost interest, and then about a week or so ago I tried again. Thundar looks like he's running towards something gigantic, so I started thinking of a big guardian type of undead skeleton thing that might be guarding a castle, or a rundown nuclear plant, because it is the future.
It'll be worse for them if the wizard shows up.
This is the era of sorcery and super science, so I thought I'd give him a ray gun.
Lords of Light!
But in the end, I still wasn't feeling it. So when Heavy Metal magazine took to Twitter last week to insult their fan and customer base, inspiration seized me. Tarna! Arguably Heavy Metal's most famous and most recognizable heroine. Like I've mentioned in the past, a lot of times I don't like doing redraw videos where I just draw the character how they've looked for the past 2 decades. You can just go look it up and see them that way if you want to. What I could do though is a crossover and fill her in fighting our favorite Saturday morning future Barbarian. The style would be a little bit me and a little bit more Saturday morning cartoon. Thundar's obviously a coloring book quality, so they're not gonna completely match, but whatever.
Let the final battle begin!
Now here's the fun part. After about 2 hours of drawing this character, I stopped the recording of the process and went to close what I thought was a photo reference, which I had open amongst 10 other windows in Photoshop. So when I hit the button to discard changes, it completely wiped the footage of the process. So here's a lame compensation. Hey, if you play this back at a slower speed, you get a partial reenactment of what it was like to download pictures in the 90s. You're welcome. So log on to your screen name, sit back, and enjoy the miracle and wonder of the World Wide Web as you surf the internet superhighway in that future that will completely revolutionize how we do business and share and consume information. God, if you people only knew what you were getting into, would you still have done it? Online shopping is faster, cheaper, and better. Except if I go to the store, I have the thing in hand that moment, and not an indeterminate amount of time later. Plus, Amazon can't seem to send me a book that isn't destroyed. The controversy with Heavy Metal came when they revealed Tarna's new costume in their latest story. Everyone else has covered it by now, but Heavy Metal was always known for 2 things: sex appeal and over-the-top edginess and violence. You take away that and you're killing your brand. It'd be one thing if the person running the Twitter of the magazine said, "Hey, I understand you might not like the new costume, but try it out and see what you think of the story." It's a totally different matter to be a snarky asshole. I swear kids weren't beaten enough in the 90s, and they grew up to be douchebags too comfortable to contently exist as adults in today's society. I'm sorry guys, I was so excited to do this video and I can't believe I lost the footage. I could have faked it, snapping to some quick zooms ins and outs, thrown around some undefined pen lines, and hoped you were none the wiser, but that would be completely disingenuous. Plus I got to make old dial-up internet jokes, and that's always a plus. I hope you're okay with seeing the process for my previous 2 failed attempts and a bit of the coloring on this one instead. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I kinda love this crossover. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and your grandparents. If you want to check out snippets from my own cartoony sci-fi comic series Smacked in the Head the Animated Series, hopefully crowdfunding soon, there's a link in the description below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.
Females.